Hello. New beta release. Yeah, I might push the button tonight. I might not. We basically have plenty of stuff to deliver in the next beta. Um, I think what I want to do right now is maybe a little bit of advanced work toward the next beta, and we just won't tell anyone that it's in the compiler until next beta. It's like secrets that only people who watch the stream get to know. Yeah. Okay. I might do a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see. When will an open beta be released? When people start making really good, exciting video games. When armies of idiot zombies on Twitter don't reply to me with a bunch of stupid insults every time I express an opinion. When I get a girlfriend. Actually, that's a lie, because I didn't release an open beta last time I got a girlfriend. Okay. This time, though, totally different. I mean, it might be totally different. So here's the thing. I have been writing down what are the things that need to happen before an open beta. And, you know, there's still a significant amount of work, but I'm trying to knock them off one at a time. And what I'm working on right now is going to be one of those things. It's a revamp of the way module parameters work to be more robust and to not require stupid ass hacks. And I've done probably the majority of the infrastructure work required. And my plan was just, you know, sometimes when we do big internal changes, because there's the possibility of breaking stuff for people, sometimes I'll ship those internal changes before getting the external feature done, right? And so that's probably what we'll do on this beta, but that doesn't mean I won't do some more of the external feature than necessary. Did I try out the Shadow Gambit demo? No, I don't know what that is. If Twitter cancels blocking, it's going to get even worse. Yeah, if Twitter cancels blocking, there's basically only one way they could do it, which is to actually give people some kind of AI filter on what they read. Like they already supposedly have a quality filter, but it sucks, right? Even with an AI filter on what people read, I don't know that I would use Twitter if there's no blocking because it's just too gross. Like just the passive aggressive quote tweet you know, if you can block people, you can prevent them from using you in that way. And if you can't block people, then you can't prevent that. And that might just change it enough that I just don't use it anymore. Really. Yeah, strengthening mute is not good enough. I don't think. I'll release open beta when civilization is great again. Yeah, I'll release open beta when we land someone on the moon. How's that? Dude, there's so many things that you could do that would be easy to make Twitter better. Here is the number one thing I would do on Twitter to make it better. Okay. When you type a tweet, you run sentiment analysis on the tweet before people post it, and you make the background color of the tweet before you post it color coded, like red if it's fucking angry and annoying to people, right? Like blue if it's not. And you maybe even, if people have done a few too many reds lately, you maybe say, dude, you sure you want to do reds? So that's step number one, is you just inform people about how annoying they're going to be. And then step number two is you actually keep track of that sentiment analysis for every account. So when you see a person's tweet on the timeline, right? The place where their profile picture is the color representing the timed average of the sentiment of all their tweets for the past some amount of time, like a running average, right? And so then you can just block by how red people are. Like, I just don't want to see people who put out angry shit all the time, right? Or whatever. Or like, I don't want to see that unless I ask to see it, or whatnot, right? And then also, when you click on their profile, you actually get two colors. Well, you get probably several colors for what are the running averages of them over different periods of time of the sentiment. And then what is the average sentiment of all their followers? Like, does this person just have an angry mob of idiots for followers? Or do they have reasonable followers? Like, you could implement that in a short period of time and it would make Twitter vastly better. But instead, they're just like, oh, we'll remove block or whatever. Twitter has worked better for you when you started to resist the usual arguments. I mean, that helps, but the problem is, like, dude, I literally just said, you know, I think games today are boring. That's what I tweeted. And I got hundreds of angry replies throwing rotten tomatoes at me, right? Because there's just a certain contingent of very unhappy people on Twitter who deal with their unhappiness by attacking people. And like that day, I was the person. And, you know, 3 hours later that day, somebody else is the person to attack, right? And like, I just don't want to see any of that stuff, either to me or to anybody else. It is literally not worth any human being to read those things. So, you know, just fix it. It's not that hard. Could probably get rid of the quote teacher feature. I would also do that, but their engagement metrics would go down if they did that. Oh no. All right, let's do some actual work. Let's deliver some value. So we're going to have to play with the scopes a little bit. I guess we put the module parameters into the top level struct scope. Okay, anyway. So if oh man. Oh yeah, import. If import I started to, so basically I'm trying to have some code that can be used for, among other things, defining the types used by module parameters, right? So that piece of the code compiles before needing the parameters. I was about to put that in the module parameters itself, which would make sense. So we have several moving parts, and there's always this question of where's the cleanest place to put things. So we have the import directive, which actually also, that's sort of, what you type when you say hash import whatever, but it also just serves as a data structure to store some stuff about the import. We have the import info, which is a new thing that I added to help restructure for this kind of job. We have the module parameter struct itself here, which holds the actual parameter values. Those values should not be inferred until this common code that could define the types used by the module parameters, until that is done inferring. So there's got to be some connection between this and the common code, obviously. So the question is, does the import infer the common code, or do we do it here? I feel like I'm going to do it here. I feel like this is the way. I could have a counter on the module parameters. maybe not. Yeah, I'm keeping vacillating in my head about which struct to put this on. I think I'm going to do it here. Problem. Well, not really a problem. Okay. Module parameters. Okay. So we're going to have this. If common code index is equal to -1, we do something, else we do something. And then if we're not responsible for compiling info, we cannot infer until the common info is compiled. So we wait. So and then we'll do Cowabunga oriented programming. Okay. All right. Here we're going to go we're going to need a mutex, by the way. Let's not import common infos, import directive mutex. Okay. Now, if we're responsible for compiling common info, we're just going to go full Cowabunga for a minute. We initialized the common code. So we're just making sure all the steps work, and then we'll fill out the steps. Okay. So we're going to yield at least once. And then when we get back here, this is going to be 0. So we'll go here. We'll say it's done. Okay. What we actually want to yield on is not import. We want to yield on other Gonna yield on other. What is the Smothers brother? Common info index. Right. Interp import common info sub index dot instances sub 0. Okay. It's the steps. Common code index. Params. We don't have common info is done. I never added it. Okay. All right. If this runs, it's solid progress, even though we didn't do that much yet. Oops. Why am I on release build? Let's go debug build because we want assertions. It's a lot of... Like we do this for literally every module. Parameters. We initialize the common code. All right. I'm a little nervous that I didn't see. Oh, you know what we should do? Okay. Some real good Cowabunga oriented programming. Hi from Gamescom. I've only been to Gamescom like twice. It's just really depressing. Because it's just like these giant sweaty warehouses full of gamers. And like the booths aren't nice usually. And people are standing in line for like 6 hours just to see one game with some anime girl with her underwear sticking out. It's like, maybe it's different now because it's been a long time since I went, but I hope you were having a good time at Gamescom. It's just, I just remember walking around these giant warehouse-like buildings and like nobody gave a shit how the games were set up in there. It was really weird. Okay, well that compiled. So let's do the tests. And as long as everything goes, we can start filling in the steps. You're exhibiting in the Indie Arena. What are you exhibiting? What game is it? Last I remember, the Indie Arena is like the maximum walking distance from the entrance. Maybe they moved it. I don't know. Warcana. Okay. Uh-oh. Too many arguments. Okay. That's a weird... This is a Heisenbug that we have seen before. I think it's been exposed by all the stuff. Oh, this reminds me of one more thing on the list that we got to do before the beta. I didn't look up hardening. Yeah, I think we just happened to expose that. Who knows? Let's try building it again. I bet it builds. We'll see. No. It might be that I actually deleted the toString that they're using. I don't think so, though. Let me try commenting these out. This is very interesting. That's literally... It's calling the version in the preload. Oh, you know what it is? We made the Heisenbug 100% reproducible because... See over here how we're always yielding once? That's changing the timing of the imports. It's changing the timing of the imports. So that's another thing that we could debug, and that would be good. I'm just too tired to do it right now, so we're just going to let that bug ride for a bit. Had to walk 10 minutes to get there. Let's see. Warcana. Fantasy-inspired base defense RTS game with oh, I was there till the cards. Well, I mean, every game has cards now, right? So it is what it is. All right. Well, I hope showing the game goes well. I hope people like it. It definitely has a lot of units. So that's good. The card seemed like a good idea. I don't know. Even 3 years ago, there were a lot of card games. What properties do I think programming languages of the future have? They'll probably suck even more than the languages we have now. That's what properties I think they'll have. Card games still seem to sell. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, if every game has cards, then is it that card games sell, or is it that some games sell well, and because every game has cards, some card games sell well? I don't know. I don't know how to tell the difference. Okay, anyway. So this is wow, I'm rapidly getting tired enough to go to bedtime. We've only been 30 minutes on the stream. But I'm trying to get to bed consistently before midnight these days. Okay, so if we're responsible for compiling info, common info, we need to push and infer the module params common code. Local push Okay. Actually, we don't need this common code index that I put, because the local push will ensure that everything is inferred. Problem is, we don't have the proper scope. So this is just a block that sort of exists. Forgot to copy that in copier. So I need to think about what are the scopes. Maybe there aren't more scopes. Maybe we don't need more shadowing behavior. Yeah. Current block. This way we can look up identifiers and stuff. Yeah. Concurrent parallel computing and programming languages. Do I happen to know any particular topics in this space that I think deserve further? I mean, it's a hard problem to do a good parallel language. I mean, I don't think I know of any problems that are not like pretty obvious to everyone in the field. Here's what I would say though. Certain of these languages focus on like giving you little constructs for how to run a bunch of stuff in parallel or whatever. But none of that is actually the problem. Like, we don't really need lightweight syntax to launch a bunch of things in parallel. Like, that's not really going to help people, right? What we need to deal with is that it's actually very hard to get high throughput on your code. Like, it's very, very hard to use all the CPUs or, you know, whatever your processor model is, use all the execution units, etc. Very, very, very hard because, you know, you always find that some things are blocking on some other things. And the programming language can't really help you with that. It's like, well, okay, that's not true. The programming language doesn't magically solve that by having some weird paradigm, right? And people seem to think that they do, but they don't, because the deal is you're computing some algorithm and algorithms have serial data dependencies, and those are the problem, right? And so what I think would be the most helpful is just like good visualization of what's actually happening and how to figure out why your program isn't running very fast because it's not, and deal with that. And that's probably pretty hard. Okay. So this is the point where I think I realize that I did not check in from my laptop the start of the test for this, although maybe I did. Let me see. I'm ready to go to bed anyway, but no, I didn't. Okay, I'm going to check that in. We want to get to the point where we're at least trying to run that test case, and then I can go to bed. Picked a hard topic. Yeah, I mean, you should pick a hard topic, though, right? That's what this is for. That if you only do easy stuff in school, why did you fucking go to school, right? Yeah, I mean, as long as, I mean, obviously, if you're at a university, what you are able to work on is going to be heavily, heavily influenced by what the professors at that university think is a good idea. And like, if they're good, they'll be reality based about these things. And if they're not good, then maybe you can't actually do something good. I don't know. Okay, I've checked in the thing on my laptop. Okay. Okay, so this has a module, and actually, this is not even what's supposed to go there. What's supposed to go there is like that. You need at least 4 fruits. Okay. Supervisor also teaches Rust. Well, I mean, that's better than your supervisor teaching Python, probably. I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Good luck with it. Okay, so this will not currently compile. Undeclared identifier fruit. That's great. Okay, so we'll put both parentheses there. Now let's, I mean, I assume it's got to be doing this, but we'll uncomment the gnarly for a second. Oh, we didn't recompile. Left of parent. Oh, we do need this common code index. Why does this just never fucking show me what's useful? Now we are infinite looping. Whoops. That explains it. Okay. We are marking common info is done. Okay. So what we need to do is make a bunch of import links. We need to essentially using the whole block onto the target block. So what we're going to do import scope modified declaration. Okay. Put that in an else just to make it clear. Okay. For we're going to do another cowabunga. Okay, that's the fruit. So now we just make an import link. Import scope modified declaration interp. Where was our queued? Calling it iterator scope is probably bad, but we'll leave that for a second. Current block. Null. Decal. Params. Wow. It worked. Let's comment these things out. Okay, fruit is a fruit. Oh, I didn't recompile to get rid of the prints. Guys, it just works. This fucking just works. Okay, so now we're going to say the master fruit is that one. Let's capitalize that because it's a constant Holio. What? Undeclared identifier fruit. Right. Hold on. See that? We shouldn't be trying to look up that fruit yet. See, I don't know why we're doing that. Yeah, see, we're not even getting any of our print statements, which means we're trying to evaluate this identifier fruit. Oh. Yeah, I know why. I know why. I don't know why. Okay, there's a couple things we need to do that I forgot. Why is module parameters not in here? Okay, well, we won't do that. Flatten. Whoops. Common code gets inferred first because it will have bindings that the parameters may need. Once that's done, we local push these. Oh, yes. Okay, so we need even more stuff. We need to go local push. Queued, whatever. Right, what is this thing? This is params, program parameters, lambda, and module parameters, lambda. And return false. Ta-da! Okay, that is a big part of what we needed to do. It's not everything. Now that we have this, I mean, I'm going to need to debug that Heisenbug that we saw, which I'm not going to do tonight. Now that we have this, whoops, we can actually change the effed up parameter checking and deduplication for the module parameters. And we can replace it with the real thing, and that will be good value for the people. All right, I'm going to take the W for now. And I'm not actually going to check in, take the W, because there's just some things to clean up here. I'm going to go to bed, and this is good news, though. This is, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. It's good action. Thanks, everyone, for coming by for a mere 1 hour of kind of programming. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a follow-up stream in the morning. Who knows? Good luck, everybody showing their games at Gamescom, and I'll see you later on.